Welcome to No Man's Sky survival mode, and here we are guys, we're down on my primary base and I'm here for two reasons. The first reason is that I've lifted all the star bulb plants that I planted in this base, and what I want to do is move these to my new farm, which is the cactus farm, and we're going to be doing that. I'm also going to be talking about manufacturing paraffinium, and maybe we'll do a few other things. Now the second thing I want to talk about is probably a little bit controversial, and that is the announcement on the 25th of March 2019, if you're watching this in the future, that the second component of the update that will be released in summer will be virtual reality, or VR. I'm going to start with a full disclosure on this, guys. I only ever played VR for 10 minutes on an Oculus Rift, and to be honest, it made me feel absolutely awful. Therefore, from the perspective of will I be playing VR, the answer is no, but I want to make it very clear that's not because I don't think VR has a role in No Man's Sky. It's just that I just can't play it. Therefore, I want that to be made very clear from the outset. And now I'm also very much aware that the announcement has split the community between the people who are very much into VR, and I think if you guys enjoy it, well, fair dues, I hope you do enjoy it. And also the members of the community who feel that Hello Games should be doing more into improving the content, especially the mid to late games, and I suppose I'm a little bit on that side of the tracks. Now the second part of this disclosure is that what I'm going to be talking about is pure speculation on my part. I've got no special contact with Sean Murray or Hello Games. This is just me looking at it from a perspective of someone who's played the game from the very beginning and followed its path. I'm going to jump straight into it, guys. If you've got any other opinions and impressions, feel free to chuck them in the comments. What I'm actually going to say may seem a bit of contradiction to what I said. I think that this is probably the point where Hello Games feel that VR can be introduced, and I'm prepared to go out on a limb and say that if you probably spoke to Sean Murray back when the game was first released, I can imagine that in the back of his mind, because you've got to remember he's got a very forward-looking view, I think that there was always a idea that No Man's Sky would go to VR. And if you actually look at it, the way the game is actually played and the way it's structured, bearing in mind that when we first started off, when the first release came out, you couldn't see the avatar and everything was first person. And if you think about it, that makes sense, guys, if from a perspective, if they were going to make No Man's Sky into a VR game, simply because if VR cannot really have third person. So that makes me feel that maybe the idea was already there. And so what's happening with this update is a logical conclusion of that process. Since the initial update, there's been various diversions, and of course we've now got avatars to do with multiplayer. Oops, better get indoors so that I don't die in the storm. Just to reiterate, guys, yeah, so since the initial update that we've now gone into third person, we've now got avatars, partly pressure from community, and that fits into multiplayer. And this comes down to maybe answering a few people's questions about why VR now. Now, if you read the blog, what you will see is that what Hello Games is trying to do, and I think it's going to be quite a challenge, is they are really moving towards multiplayer VR. Not just VR, I think they're literally going to be trying to take it to the next level by having a full multiplayer game in VR. And more importantly, this is not going to be an add-on, a separate game which we will have to buy. They're emphasizing this free to the community, and what they're saying is that people like me who will still be on the keyboard and mouse would still be able to interact with somebody with VR. So you can have this vision that in a multiplayer game you'll have people on VR, people on normal interfaces, whether that's the PS4 or the PC. And to me, that really shows that Hello Games is already trying to push the boundary of where they want to go. Therefore, I feel that is the reason why there were hints in the phase 1 update where they were talking about that the multiplayer will be a totally different experience. So what they'll be trying to do is blend multiplayer into VR, and to me that's a big challenge. I mean, I work in the IT industry and I've got a pretty good idea about what Hello Games is trying to do, and I can actually understand the size of the challenge, and it may explain why people who've wanted VR and multiplayer have had to wait for so long, because Hello Games are going to try and take this to a different level. To be honest, guys, I really wish Hello Games well with this project, because it is a very big step and it is a very big challenge for it to work. Now, from my perspective, how I'm going to represent that when the new update comes out, I'm not too sure. I'm just going to have to think about that. I think that's all I want to say about VR, simply because, well, beyond that, there's not that much in the way of detail, and I'm not a person for really in-depth speculation. What I will finish this section off with is hopefully what will be the third component, and I'm hoping that for people like me and maybe some of you guys who are not really into multiplayer or even VR, that there's going to be a massive update. And I'm really hoping now, because there's only one component left, that is going to be space. I mean, if it's not space, I'm going to be, well, I wouldn't say very disappointed, but I will be disappointed in that sense that Hello Games would have missed a trick. And I mean, and again, if you spin back to the other two components, multiplayer, VR, you imagine a space enhancement, being really able to fly ships and the space combat in VR or ordinary platform, and a multi-player combat. Imagine if people are fighting each other. I mean, the possibilities are incredibly strong. Let's say, guys, this is where I'm going to stop the speculation, because, well, anything could happen. So this is where I'm going to leave it. If any of you guys came to the video for me talking about VR, this is where it's going to end. What I'm going to do now is get back to some normal gameplay, which is we're going to go and plant some cactus plants, do a bit of exploration. The first thing I want to talk about, though, is that if I come out here and just show you here. Oops, nope, not that. What am I doing? I think talking about VR has fried my brains a bit. That's it. That's where I'm going there. Back to the serious business of playing. That's what games are all about, really, not speculation and about what's coming up. It's playing the games that you're actually playing. If you show here to plant star bulb, I need paraffinium, and I mean I've got probably more than enough paraffinium, but what I want to do is show you guys the formulas for paraffinium. Now there's several formulas. I'm only going to show you two, and I'm going to put one in each of these. First one is silver. Silver, so we'll put silver in there, and it's silver and oxygen. There. Not sure why they're 200, and you can see that's a 1 to 2 for both of these, but the maximum you can get out of is 250. So what we'll have is 250 paraffinium, and we should have 150 silver and 150 oxygen left over. Now the next formula, which I think is useful, is, and this gives me used to use, not nitrogen, sorry about that, I was looking at the wrong colour, is sulfuring. You can see the moment it says 3 to 1, that's to produce radium. And then we've got ferrite dust. I've got 230 ferrite dust, that would be close enough. And what you need to do is flip back. You can see this is 1 to 1 as well. Now if you've got a farm that produces sulfurine like I have, I'm pretty sure this is the sulfurine farm is out here actually, if I remember correctly. Look, this atmosphere harvester, yep, it's quite happy going. Then it makes sense to make paraffinium from ferrite dust and sulfurine. But if you haven't got a atmospheric miner, then maybe using this using the combination of silver and oxygen, because they're very common on all planets. Anyway guys, I'm just going to let that run through, and while I'm doing that, what I want to do is just get up here and talk a little about the base. Because what I've done is I've lifted these domes up, and what's actually happened is I've run out a bit of space. So what I'm thinking of is to take this center dome out, and extend the cuboid room back a bit. But that's going to be a subject for a future video. I mean, it should work. Whoops. I really preferred the old mechanics for the ladders. But seeing we're here, what I'm going to do is just scoot up this ladder here. And we're just going to pick up the cactus plants here. I'm going to leave this one in as my backup and for the cactus flesh. Just going to grab this. I mean, you can see we just got 1600 out of that. I need to make sure I'm not filling my inventory up. What we're going to do. Right, this guy's finished. That can go in the high capacity. That can go in the high capacity. Go into the high capacity. And this, what can we make? We can make 5 unstable gel. And we can shove that into one of these. Oops, no. This is one of these. Yeah. We can shove some more into there. You can see this ferrite one's actually taking quite a long time to produce it, but then it's probably producing a lot more of what we're going to be doing. I must admit, I do like this base. I'm thinking if I had to give up, or we had to go back to one base, I'd still keep this base and drop the farming bases. I really like this base. And while we're waiting that, the other thing also, guys, is that if any of you guys follow the series regularly, and I'm still going to start a permadeath series when the new update comes out. And for any of you guys who are really adventurous, I wonder what it would be like to do a permadeath series in VR. I mean, that would be a real challenge. I say, sorry, it's not for me, but I mean, if any of you guys would even consider doing that, because bearing in mind that if you're playing a game in VR, you've got controllers and you've got to move in a room, which is probably another problem that I have as well, that where I record is a little bit of a shoebox. So I wouldn't be able to do very much in this room. I'd have to try and find another room to to do VR in, actually, because, well, I've watched a few videos on people using Oculus Rift, and besides the amusement of watching someone actually doing it, it's thing plus, and yeah, and I think that's the other thing with using VR, that you do need a lot of space for it to work properly. Mind you, it's good exercise, I suppose. Anyway, other players' base filter. Oh, my base is what do we get? Well, we need cactus fields. That's it, isn't it? It's nice to see that the base names have finally been picked up on this teleporter. Now, I'd be surprised if any of these are ready to be picked. Oh, so they are. Wow. That was a little bit of a surprise there, guys, because cactus plants normally take a little while to settle down. Let's just get down to the planting, and I've done it again. I'm going to go across. Yeah, up, one, into. Ideally, I'd like to get both domes set up, but I'm not sure if I'm going to get enough star bulbs. I'm going to have to run another grow cycle to get enough of these. I mean, it's not a problem. Yep, I've run out of star bulb. So what I will do is run another grow cycle to fill this dome up as well. Creature there. I'm half tempted just to have a wander around this planet and check things out, because go away. I'm just standing there for the moment. I don't want to waste the, because if I remember correctly, We're here. Oh, I can't see. Wow. We've got 5 out of 8 species. Right, guys, we'll go and walk about. Where are we going? How far is that away? Ancient ruins, 11 hours. Yeah, let's do it, guys. I'm in that kind of mood today. Let's just put out. I lost my signal booster. Oh, of course I died, didn't I? So I lost my signal booster and everything. Okay. Maybe I need to do it. I hadn't even noticed that. What do I need to make the signal booster then? We need 1 metal plating, 1 carbon nanotube. And we got no ferrite dust. Well, it looks like we're gonna go walk about. There's loads of ferrite dust on here, so we'll just do the lazy gathering, especially with all these rocks around. I can just walk away like this. A little bit of pyrite. There we are. I can see you. Just go away. I'm gonna headbutt you. That'd be cool, guys. I know I shouldn't be talking about VR. I think you'd be able to headbutt sentinels in real life. Oh, got to find another creature. Yeah. Oh, of course, there's my space station over there as well. Okay, I've got a space station that lives next door. Right. Up one, across. And of course, this time we're going to make it be made, so. Let's see if we can find a operational center or a manufacturing base. Scan secure frequency. I mean, it'd probably be miles away, but well, you can see the space station there, and that's the local one. There's manufacturing facility detected. It says there's one over there. Is that a manufacturing facility? I don't remember that being there. Okay, let's just go walk about. No, just keep away from hazardous plants. Oh, for the days when the lash plants were the biggest threat on the planet's surface. Actually, I think that's quite cool, actually. Oh, there's another one there, hidden. Okay. Any more creatures around? Anything up in the sky? I mean, sometimes when you're getting a bit low of general supplies like condensed carbon, ferrite, and various other items, I know you can buy them, but sometimes it's just fun to walk across the surface of the planet and just gather the general resources and just have a look. See, there we are. Area discovered, the xylem. Okay. Manufacturing facility 401. We'll get there eventually. Don't think there. Don't think any of these are anything new. Humming eggs. Humming eggs. Notice the way these things just appear out of the ground. But then again, I suppose there's got to be spawn points to skip past that. Use those. Grab a little bit of dihydrogen as well. I mean, my frigate missions should be finished as well, actually, come to think of it. Oops. Oh, come on. I just wish they could be hotkeyed anyway. We got through. Go away. And somebody actually asked me, oops a daisy. Hey, you're going to pick a fight. I know it's got me killed last time, but wow. Yeah, I think I might need to strengthen my reload. I've only got 7 seconds before the boys show up. Yeah, I don't think my boltcaster is as strong as it used to be. All nanites have been credited. Alert, alert, power core, artificial intelligence core, something, okay. The area is compromised. Atmospheric toxins have breached the sensitive systems and brought production to its knees, even the primary terminal. I think we're going to seal off the power core. Oh, great. Well, never mind. Messed that up, didn't I? What we'll do is we're just going to wander across the surface and just vacate the area, I think. Actually, well, I'm stood here. Let's just see if we can find something else around here. Locate nearby structure. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Well, we might find something of interest. So there's another base over that way. Well, there's something that way. I mean, I've got loads of navigation data, so... Yeah, we'll go secure frequencies again. Supply depot detected. How far away is that? That's 14 minutes. That's probably a little bit on the long side. Let's pick that up. Now, I think we're going to go this way, guys. You're feeling the Sentinels don't like us. We're just going to go for the Citizen Observatory over here. That's my inventory. A bit that up with condensed carbon. I'm not sure what the reload with the unstable plasma is, so we'll just let that run down for the moment. We've got so much junk in here. Gonna have to sort that out, but I'll do that off camera, guys. How many creatures have we got now? Got 6 out of 8. If we can find another 2 creatures. Yep. I'm just going to... Oops. Let's get that. The keen effigy. There's some damaged machinery up over here. Let's grab that. Wow, that was quick. Well, I'm not sure where that came from. We'll dig it up. It's cash. Oops, gone too far. I don't remember hooking that. Never mind. What else have we got around here? We got that there. Might as well scan the hazardous flora. Humming eggs. I mean, there's an alien artifact that way. This also says there's how far? That's 11 hours. And that might be a little bit too far to walk. If I walk back to the same one, wait, we'll just check this out. Nope. Okay. Grab that. Or the pulse splitter. That's humming eggs. Okay, let's follow the buried technology just to see how that's going. Pick a little bit of condensed carbon off the top. Going this way. Find the next interface. That shadow. Really like that shadow. I think that really adds to the atmosphere of the game. Where is it? Ah. Walk straight over it. And here, creatures. There's birds in the sky. I think some buried technology. Alien artifact there. We must go and get. So I can see you. One thing I will be fascinated to see, and I'm really hoping, well, I can almost guarantee that there's going to be people doing VR on YouTube. I'm going to be really fascinated to see how they're going to select menu options. I must admit, guys, I know although I can't play it, I do have a bit of a fascination about how the interface works, because when I was developing software, interfaces was, we could say, was one of my focuses. One element of VR that I'm going to be very interested to see how Hello Games actually do develop. I mean, they do have a bit of an advantage, because like if I do this, you've got the gun which will come up and be part of the controller, but how they manage all the various interfaces, like especially building, I mean building in VR could be an interesting experience. You know, I mean, if you imagine this menu here, I mean obviously we can't show the full build menu here, but getting through all this in VR I mean that could be interesting, how they approach that, especially the full base building menu with all those levels and tiers and all that. I mean, to me, I think that will be one of the key elements of the success or the failure of what they produce. If the interface is really cumbersome and awkward to use, I think people will get a bit frustrated. But then that poses the question that it will be the same game. So, for example, say you just can't get on with the interface for building. Does that mean that you'll be able to use the normal interface to build, whether it's PS4 or PC, and then experience it in VR? I mean, that'd be a strange combination, wouldn't it? Because you have both modes. I mean, what is this? This is pyrite. Actually, that could be quite useful. And that's just a thought, guys. Actually, I'm just kind of thinking about it, that you could, as I say, building. I'm not saying that you won't be able to build in VR. I'm just speculating over if you got to say you want to build a big full-size base, or dare I say it, the ability to build and upgrade a ship or space station. But would you be able to? Yeah, and I think this is what maybe Hello Games is working towards, the fact that a lot of VR games, you're either in VR, yeah, it's either a VR game or not a VR game. What Hello Games seem to be going for is an environment which, and again this turns back to the multiplayer, is that the player themselves can play in both modes. I mean, obviously in different sessions. I mean, you won't have a button that will flip you between the two. Oh, great. Yeah, at the same time, that will be a shared experience. It's interesting. Anyway, I shouldn't be talking about it. I said I wasn't going to talk about it, and what am I doing talking about it? Salvage technology. Oh, this can go in there. Pure ferrite can go in there. Pure ferrite can go in there. Pugnium, that can go in there. Pyrite can go there. Condensed carbon. Yeah, we're getting a little bit of overflow. Probably send the cactus flesh out as well. We'll keep there. The ferrite dust can go to high capacity as well. That kind of tidies everything up a little bit. How far away is that? That's 16 minutes. Probably a bit long because time's pushing on with the video. Let's see if we can find. It looks like I've actually walked in a circle. Okay, we're just going to make our way back towards the base. Right, we've got something over there, metal fingers. Let's just go and have a look at this. It's a shame that resource depot is so far away. I mean, don't really want to spend 15 minutes walking to it, but we'll go and check out the metal fingers and see what that is. Oops. Just grab more dihydrogen, and there's Mr. Hostile. Come back. Hey, just go away. I'm busy. I suppose I have been aggravating them, haven't I? Means I can't really gather the metal fingers. Okay, what we're going to do is head for the base. We're only 1,000 odd units away from the base. Life support 35%. And just use up the ion battery. In some ways, this planet is quite realistic, actually, because they say the desert gets very cold at night. I mean, I've never been in real desert. I've been in what you would call marginal desert, but not real desert. Because this planet seems to be more cold than actually anything else, despite the fact that it's got cactus on it. Just scan that then. Okay. Well, we got 67,000 for that, so can't complain, guys. Another one over there. That's another 67,000. That sky though, guys, the stars. I mean, I have to admit, the various updates has started to make this game very atmospheric. That's my base, and that's the actual. Oops, a daisy. Do I have anything to sell? I mean, we got the Viking effigy, the Corvax casing. Let's go this way. Check out over here, because then I can sell off the junk. Oh, this is the space. Well, we can. We've got a jetpack that can get us up into the space station, so, or trading station. I don't know why I'm calling it a space station. and then I can call my ship. And for any of you guys who never done this before, what you do is you aim to get up onto this platform, or if you've got a fully powerful jetpack like I've got, you can do it in one go. But if you're starting out, what you do is you jetpack up onto that platform and then jetpack up into here. Let's see what we can sell. The nitrogen uranium. We'll sell the Corvax casing. I know I'm not making any Viking effigy, just simply to get rid of them. Oh, we've got a couple of technology modules. We've got 6 technology modules. We'll sell those as well. Just yeah, a bit of cash. Keep the sulfuring. Anything that's ship launch fuel. Yeah. Buy the ferrite dust actually, and the cobalt. I think I'm a bit short, getting a bit low on cobalt. I know it wasn't much, but well. And just to wind up, guys, what we're going to do is have a little bit of a chit chat with these guys. Yes, manifest. Now I'm not going to do. I just don't like doing these missions on here. Yeah, he's got a bit of a sulk on me with there. And seeing him make that gesture actually reminds me of another thing with VR is that it's going to be very interesting. I mean, I'm going to assume that if you make the gesture in real life while you're moving around the room, whether that gesture will be reflected in the game. I mean, that could be some interesting concepts as well. So in some ways, what you'll have, especially in multiplayer, sorry, I keep spinning back to this, guys, you'll have real expressions. So if you see someone you know and you wave to them, and you'll be effectively waving to them in reality, and then they can wave back if you're both on VR. That's going to be cool. The more I think about it, the more inclined I am to maybe see if I could overcome my motion sickness. And you never know, maybe No Man's Sky is going to be the game that converts me, but I'm a bit reluctant though, because I say I mean, my first experience was prepared. It gave me a migraine which lasted for a couple of days, which is one of the side effects of when I get motion sickness. I often end up with a migraine headache, which can be a little bit vicious. Anyway, that's my problem, not your problem, guys. Let's have a quick look to see if there's anything else to raid around here, although I've already looted this stuff. There's some goodie boxes up here. And grab this. Oops. I'm not doing very well with the getting rid of the rust of the metal today. Yes. And we've got another Corvax casing, nothing found. I think we're just going to call the ship in. Jump in. Quick look. Yeah, there's nothing on the ship that I want to sell. Right, guys, I think this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it interesting. Next part, maybe we'll just get out and do a bit more exploration. Maybe go looking for a fighter. If you've got any opinions on VR, feel free to chuck them in the comments. I'll try and answer them. But I'm going to confess I'm not the world's expert on VR. My experience is very limited. But until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.